When making pulls to correct structural misalignment, anchoring only using the pinch weld clamps may lead to further damage on the vehicle without additional support. Let's take a look at a few types of straightening equipment and see how each provides a different approach to anchoring the vehicle. Car-Liner uses an electronic measuring system to measure the vehicle. They also provide a universal fixture system called EVO 1, 2, and 3 to anchor the vehicle. Here we have Joe Blanton from Car-Liner.
Good to meet you.
Hey. Why don't you show us how we get started with this EVO system?
Okay, with the EVO system it comes in three components, EVO 1, EVO 2, and EVO 3. 1 and 2 work together for pulling, and EVO 3 even uses components from 1 and 2 for fixturing new parts. Here we get a list of all the parts on the build this component, and then we also get a movie down here so you can see how the parts go together.
Joe, would you mind showing us how to set up a fixture on the vehicle?
Sure, let's do one. We've selected this point here for additional anchoring. Now we've got our plate in position. We'll put the cam locks in to anchor it. Now we'll put the tower on. And cam lock that down also. And finally, we'll put our bolt through to reach our anchoring position.
Well, Joe, thanks for taking the time to show us how the system works.
Thank you for inviting me.
Here we have Greg Fritz from Gillette to show us how their fixture system provides anchoring.
When you receive your fixtures, you will also receive a setup sheet or a map, which is used as a guide to help you determine where each fixture should go and what components are used with the fixtures. Basically, what we've done is we've started with the center section of the car. So we've put the fixtures up before we set the vehicle down. We would set this row here, which is the front of the center section. We'd set these fixtures here, which is the rear of the center section of the car, and then we would lower the vehicle down to it. Theoretically, we have damage in the front, so we would use a couple of fixtures towards the back of the car to level the rear so the car sits level on the bench. Then we would go up to the front at that point. And we'll just set this is fixture number 2, MZ TV400 plate, MZ200 base, as the map says. Put it in the proper location. A couple bolts in there just to give us a guide. We will lift our fixture number 2 up. There's a pin right here that goes into a pilot hole. And then we have our height pin right here.
Thanks, Greg, for taking the time to show us how the Gillette bench can anchor and measure, and thanks for your time.
You're very welcome, Scott. Thank you very much.
Now let's take a look at a similar system that uses universal fixtures to anchor a damaged vehicle. Here we have Eric Laram from Carbench to show us how their fixture system works. Eric, when we want to get a vehicle onto the fixture system, where should we start?
You always want to start setting your fixtures in the torque box of the vehicle. What that does is establish that the vehicle is square and the basis for your whole repair.
Well, now that we have the center section set up, what additional fixtures are we going to need?
We like to use a minimum of 6 fixtures on the chassis. Some auto manufacturers might recommend more. What we're going to do is set up a fixture point using the Carbench data. What we're doing here is setting up the base. What we're doing is we're putting on the secondary base, which will give you your A and B settings, length and width. Next, we're going to add the width into it. And then we're going to put the height in. Okay, and then we're going to put the bracket on, which attaches the fixture to the car. Finally, last, after you put the universal bracket on there, you want to attach the chassis to the fixture by running a bolt up into the frame.
Well, Eric, thanks for coming down and showing us how the fixture bench works.
You bet.